You know that little blue and white logo on your card? Yeah, that one. It's way more than just a brand. It's basically the key to a financial fortress worth, get this, over $666 billion. We swipe and tap it every single day, but most of us have no idea about the sheer power behind it. So today, we're going to go inside the walls.
So that's really the big question we're tackling, isn't it? How did a company build this impenetrable financial fortress? And maybe more importantly, can its walls actually hold up in this day and age? We're going to break it all down using some great analysis from Morningstar.
All right, so to really understand how Visa got so dominant, you first have to get their business model, which is brilliant because it's almost invisible. Just think about it. Every time you tap your phone, swipe your card, or click Buy Now, money is zipping around electronically, and Visa is sitting right smack in the middle of it all.
And the beauty of this model is its simplicity. The Morningstar report calls Visa a toll booth business, and that's the perfect way to describe it. It doesn't matter if you're using a physical card, your phone, or buying something online. For making that transaction happen smoothly, Visa takes a teeny tiny slice of the pie. They're basically profiting from the entire world shifting away from cash.
And when I say tiny slices, you have to realize just how gigantic the pie is. I mean, look at this number. Those little fees add up fast when you're processing over 14 times trillion dollars in transactions. That's the projection for just a single year. It's an almost unimaginable amount of money flowing through one network.
So, how in the world did Visa build this colossal toll booth? Well, it definitely didn't just pop up overnight. The foundations for this fortress were laid down decades ago through some seriously smart, strategic moves.
It all started with a simple idea from Bank of America back in the 50s. But the real genius move? That came in the 70s. A bunch of competing banks realized it was better to team up than to fight each other. So they formed the Visa brand, creating one unified network. And from there, it just exploded into the global giant we know today.
And this just shows you the insane scale of those fortress walls today. We're talking about a network linking thousands of banks with tens of millions of stores and businesses all over the world in pretty much any currency you can think of. Trying to build something to compete with that from scratch? Wow. That is, to put it lightly, a massive undertaking.
Now, this enormous global scale isn't just impressive. It's Visa's #1 defense. In the investing world, they call this an economic moat. And Visa's is one of the widest and deepest you'll ever find. It's what protects the castle from anyone trying to invade.
Right, so an economic moat is what separates a pretty good company from a truly unstoppable one. It's this built-in advantage that keeps the competition out year after year and lets the company inside that fortress just rake in the profits. And Visa's moat, it comes from this super powerful force called the network effect. It's the exact same reason you use certain social media apps, because that's where everybody else is. For Visa, the more of us who carry their cards, the more stores have to accept them. And the more stores that accept them, the more valuable that card becomes to us. It's a perfect feedback loop that just gets stronger and stronger with every new person who joins.
I mean, this quote from the Morningstar analyst really says it all. Essentially unassailable. When the pros who analyze companies for a living use words that strong, you know that network effect is the real deal.
And you can see it in the numbers. In huge markets like the US, Europe, and Latin America, Visa controls over half the market. That means more than 1 out of every $2 spent on cards in those places flows through Visa's network. They're not just a leader, they're a titan.
And all that dominance, it leads to some pretty mind-blowing profitability. Analysts are projecting a 66% operating margin. Think about that. Because the network's already built, every extra transaction costs them next to nothing to process. So all that revenue just flows straight to the bottom line. That is what a wide moat looks like in action.
But hey, no fortress is ever 100% safe, right? Even Visa has attackers at the gates, and they're bringing some new kinds of weapons that could, at least in theory, start to chip away at those walls.
The threats really come from all sides. You've got governments and regulators who are always looking at their fees. Some countries are trying to build their own local payment systems. Then you have new tech, like stablecoins, that are trying to go around the traditional system altogether. And of course, there's always the risk of a recession hitting spending or a major data breach.
So this really gets to the heart of the debate about Visa's future. The bulls look at it and see a totally dominant, super profitable company with tons of room to grow as the world keeps going digital. But the bears? They see a giant target on Visa's back. They worry that being so successful just makes them a magnet for lawsuits, new regulations, and disruptive competition.
So after weighing that impenetrable moat against all the attackers at the gates, what's the final call?
What's Morningstar's verdict?
Well, according to their analysis, the market seems to have it just about right. This chart shows the company's stock price trading really close to what the analysts think it's actually worth. So what that suggests is that, yeah, it's a fantastic company, but its stock price already kind of reflects that fact.
And to put a really fine point on it, Morningstar's fair value estimate as of late 2025 is right at $323 per share. That's the number their analysts have calculated for what the business is truly worth, which means there isn't a huge bargain or a crazy premium at its current price.
But here's the final and probably most important takeaway. Despite all those risks and all the potential threats coming down the road, Morningstar's assessment is crystal clear. They believe Visa still has a wide economic moat. For now, that fortress is holding strong.
Which kind of leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. Visa absolutely perfected the financial plumbing for the 20th century. But as we race into a future of crypto, digital wallets, and decentralized finance, the real question is whether the fortress they built can adapt, or if one day those unassailable walls might start to look just a little bit shorter.